I remember when putting your hoof down was the worst thing that I'd reviewed. Seems like such a long time ago. And people saying that I never do animated atrocity reviews of Friendship is Magic, I've actually done 2 of them. I give each episode a score between 0 and 5, and if they score a 0, they're considered an animated atrocity. Both Putting Your Hoof Down and Rainbow Falls are atrocities from that show. What do you want me to do, review them twice? But I was really harsh back then when I didn't know how bad things could get. I mean, from One Course Meal and A Pal for Gary being the worst things I've reviewed, to them being topped by things like Mega Babies or Fresh Air or whatever the fuck this is. It gets to the point where you start to forget that bad doesn't mean the most heinous things that you've ever seen. Sometimes bad just comes in the form of a plot being flawed or someone not thinking through their implications. Like in today's episode, Recess is awesome. I really liked the show growing up, and it might have been my favorite Disney cartoon. Although considering the variety they had, it's kinda hard to tell. Whether it be this, Jake Long, Kim Possible, or TV shows based on their movies, which were a lot better than they had to be, and a lot better than you'd think they'd be. Although, not everything they did was perfect, and sooner or later, at least one of their shows would have a dud. A lot of people wanted me to review the episode Jinxed, but I never particularly hated that episode, since Gus did come out on top on the end. Now, the episode I picked was one that was in a similar vein to Arthur's big hit. Nobody doesn't like TJ. This episode starts with TJ in detention, and his friends being all bummed out. They get distracted by a kid playing a video game.
Version of ducks on a pond? It's a total quack up. Yes, I'm unflappable.
Still better duck humor than breadwinners. Anyway, he lets the gang play along, until they mention TJ. Gordy admits that he doesn't like TJ. TJ makes his way out of detention, and the rest of them want to know what he did to Gordy. Since TJ didn't do anything, it makes them wonder why Gordy doesn't like him. Inside, we get a lecture about how John Adams and Thomas Jefferson didn't like each other, and the teacher goes on about their opposing points of view. Nothing bad so far, I'll admit, but we've got a bit to go. TJ tries and fails to get Gordy's attention. This doesn't work, and TJ starts getting a bit obsessive and figuring out why Gordy doesn't like him. TJ goes right up and asks Gordy if he doesn't like him. Gordy point blank says that he doesn't like TJ. The rest of the gang says that a lot of people don't like them, and they give reasons. This is kind of important.
The fact is, TJ, there are over 5 billion people on Earth, and it would be impossible for all of them to like you or anyone else.
Wow, times really change. TJ can't seem to accept that someone doesn't like him, and we get a montage of everyone liking TJ, even his worst enemy. Alright, so he's the kind of guy who needs to learn this lesson, that not everyone is going to like you. And yes, we will be getting to my points. Gordy then acts like an asshole, and it's still getting to TJ. Then Mikey gives TJ some brownies. TJ takes the brownies and goes over to Gordy. He gives Gordy some brownies, and Gordy has some. However, Gordy is allergic to nuts, so this plan kinda backfires. TJ becomes more and more obsessed, eventually leading to TJ saying that he doesn't like Gordy either. This doesn't work on any level. TJ gets another idea, getting both him and Gordy in detention. Keep in mind that TJ has given this guy he wants to be friends with both something he's allergic to and now has gotten him detention. TJ gives himself detention and Miss Finster leaves because of course she does. Gordy tries to ignore TJ, but TJ gets past this by annoying him. It seems like Gordy now has a pretty good reason for not liking TJ. Finally, TJ takes Gordy into his secret passageway, and Gordy surprisingly goes along with it. They take some ice cream, mess with the principal, and find Mandark.
Guys, this is Gordy.
Condor Primula on E-Drog.
But after all of this, Gordy still doesn't like TJ.
What? But why not? I demand an answer. You gotta tell me right now. Why? Why don't you like me? No reason, I just don't.
TJ learns that no matter what you do, you can't please all the people all the time, and the kids at home learn that it's okay to dislike people for no reason whatsoever. Let's forget the fact that after the brownies thing, Gordy had a good reason not to like TJ, because that's the least of my issues with this. I hate the message that this is giving, and it's a very easy message to get. That it's okay to dislike people for no reason. Not even a stupid reason, just no reason at all. This is called being an asshole. And the episode doesn't seem to think that Gordy is an asshole. I'm not an idiot. I know that there are people in this world who will hate you for no reason. I post things on the internet, it's pretty much an occupational hazard. There are also people who will hate you for stupid reasons, and that's a missed opportunity here. Maybe Gordy could have disliked TJ for something that he didn't want to change or couldn't change, that would spread the message much better. Throughout the episode, they're constantly doing that with everyone else, and that's every example we get. Gordy could have disliked TJ because he's too cocky, he's too fun-loving. Or maybe Gordy doesn't like his hat. I don't know, just something. But the biggest misstep here is that I feel the episode is putting Gordy in the right. At the very least, they didn't put him in the wrong. And so the moral they're trying to teach is only really half-formed. And it does say that it's acceptable to not like people for no reason whatsoever. TJ is the person with the problem here, not Gordy. While it's not the worst episode that I've ever seen or anything, in fact it's probably one of the least bad Atrocities so far, its only purpose is to teach a message that it gets wrong. In fact, it makes it harder for me to hate episodes that have done this plot type, let's say less than stellar. And I will grant that this is a hard message to get correctly. I don't think I've ever seen this done perfectly before. And that's because people could have very legitimate reasons for disliking you, as you're not perfect. And if you are perfect, people are going to hate you because perfection is a flaw. This is called a paradox. But the kids at home will learn that it's okay to dislike people for no reason, which it's not. TJ didn't really learn the lesson, so he's going to go through this again at some point in the future, and Gordy is going to grow up to be a writer for Encyclopedia Dramatica.
I know the sound of each rock and stone, and I embrace what others fear. You are not to roam in this forgotten place. Just the likes of me are welcome here.